What's up, my fabulous love bug goodies? Welcome back to your channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. Well, honey, another requested recipe in my Jamaican kitchen. Loaded shrimp, baked potato recipe in my kitchen. Fast, easy, and what? Simple. Any time of the year. Now, if you are new and you're here watching me cooking for your very first time, be sure that you have subscribed. If you're not already subscribed, we are wait pan. Go ahead and do so. And then what? Turn on your post notification settings, man, so you will always be reminded whenever your girl upload what? A brand new video. Let's get started.
You don't remember where you're coming from. You don't remember where you're coming from. Rastafari. Why you turn your back on your brother when him need you? You don't remember the days when him feed you. You know when no obligation but to him some respect. All you need to do is just give him one to get turn your back on your brother.
Hello again, my lovely love bug goodies. Now let's get cooking. Christmas a come, Thanksgiving a come. Let's start cook. Now I have, that's right there is, you'll call it a yam. I would call it a sweet potato. I'm only putting it into the mix because husband requested, but you don't have to do that. Husband requests that, say girl, look straight off, do that as well. Now I have my Irish potato, and this is what you will need. My Irish potato are really jumbo size big. That is what I'm choosing to use. Extreme large Irish potato. Now you want to make sure that you give them a nice washing under some cold running water. Make sure that your potatoes are nice and clean, and again, you can't skip that. That is just husband request that, right? I'm going to decide to put it on camera. Now, dry them thoroughly and get all the water off of it. After you get done doing this and that, you go ahead and just layer some oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. You don't have to use that, but that's what I choose to use. Now, massage the oil into your potatoes all through round and round, because it is going to give that skin a beautiful like flavor to sucking all the way into the potato. And add some salt for flavor. Pop it in your oven 375 degrees, allow it to bake for 40 minutes and you're good. Now moving right along, I'm using my black tiger shrimp, and these shrimp are definitely uncooked shrimp. Now if you decide to use cooked shrimp, you have to be really careful, goodie, because you are popping this in the oven later on and your shrimp will feel like rocks. Okay, so try to use uncooked shrimp. And you don't have to use tiger shrimp because they are super big and they are super expensive. Yes, but you know your girl already, right? Now I did peel my shrimp and I did devein them, clean them really thoroughly, washed it with lemon juice and a little bit of vinegar. That's what I did here, and just made sure that my shrimp was clean, just like everything else. Your girl is germophobic, yes, germophobic. So your girl went and washed those shrimp and cleaned them up. And I'm gonna season the shrimp from top to bottom, from round the corner, into the center, all about the place. These shrimp are going to be seasoned thoroughly, okay? Seasoned thoroughly. Now, in a container, I decided to do this. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. My eyeball everything else up, but they are good the measurements, and it will not be down in the description box because your girl gonna walk you through the whole thing. Now 1 teaspoon of the onion powder into my container, and you could always switch up things. Some of the seasoning add to this thing, you could switch it up if you'd want to, because you have to make it your own, right? 1 teaspoon of the garlic powder as well. Then to that I added 1 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, and you can also substitute that out as well. I decided to go Old Bay seasoning. You could go seafood seasoning or any other thing, but come out of the bottle. Now I decided to use my Cajun season, my Louisiana Cajun season, and once again that's 1 teaspoon, and you can substitute that out as well. Make it your own, good, make it your own. Now I'm gonna add some chili powder into the mix, and that right there was about 1 teaspoon too, right? Also, you want to go ahead and add the paprika because I like my shrimp colored. So I added just call it 1 teaspoon. Look like more, but a 1 teaspoon. I love my combo season, but you could use any kind of other season you want to use. You go ahead and use that, and that's also a teaspoon as well. All-purpose seasoning, 1 teaspoon of that too in your container. Then I went in some dry parsley and I just put as needed. Go as needed. But if you're going to measure it, use a tablespoon. Mix all of that together and make it into a nice little combination. That's all you need to do, right? Now with your shrimp all prepped and ready to go, you go ahead and just splash the tasty season all up on the shrimp and just rotate them on the other side. And after you get done rotating them, you go back in with the seasoning and do the opposite side, right? I did not rub the season in because I wanted to soak up on its own. When you allow that shrimp to just sit there and mellow, it's going to start sweating and soaking up the seasoning. Just like I'm doing here, I did not rub it together. I just allowed it to soak itself into the shrimp all by itself, right? Now in another container, like a pot, I added 1 stick of unsalted butter because we all of them season them maybe of like salt in it, so we don't want to use salted butter. Now to the butter I added 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic, right, to the mix, and I allowed all them two to come together and do its magic. Into that magic right there, so went in and added my shrimp. Now your shrimp goodie, you are not going to be trying to cook these things. You just want it to absorb the flavor from the butter and the garlic for 4 minutes only. 4 minutes the shrimp is not cooked, but remember you are going to put it into the oven and it's going to finish. So do not overcook your shrimp because your shrimp are going to taste like a wall. Don't do it, boo. Don't do it. And you're going to kill your shrimp. The shrimp is the trick to this recipe. So just turn it after 2 minutes because your fire is already on medium heat. It's only going to get the beautiful color from the seasoning that you put on there. And that's all it takes. 4 minutes tops. You let it soak up that good flavor from the butter and the garlic, and you just release it in a one plate and make it go and chill and cool. Stop cook. Now in your same pot, you go in and you add another half a stick of butter. Why? Because butter make everything better. Then I added to it some more garlic, 1 tablespoon of garlic to that. And we are going to make this right here a batter like no other, right? In my Jamaican kitchen. Now to that I added 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, right? To that mix. Now we want to go ahead and season this thing up because if you don't season up this batter right here, it's going to be flawless and tasteless. Now, I went in and sprinkled just a little bit more of the black pepper, maybe a ½ teaspoon because we don't want to kill it with too much black pepper. Went in and had some onion powder, about a teaspoon of that. Went in with some more garlic powder, about a teaspoon of that as well. Then I went back in with my Old Bay seasoning, about a teaspoon of the Old Bay seasoning as well. I dropped my all-purpose seasoning because I always love it, so a teaspoon of that as well. And some parsley flakes as needed into my batter. Went in with my hot pepper sauce, and I'm using my CHRSTMAS brand, about a tablespoon, and it's going to give it a little kick right there, so, right? Spin it all together and give it about 2 minutes and make it bubble. After 2 minutes, I went in with my sharp cheddar and my mozzarella, and you could switch up the cheese and make it whatever you want. Now, immediately you start putting your shrimp in, and you are going to shut that heat off. As soon as you start put your shrimp in, you turn off the stove. Just shut it off, goody, shut it off. Everything is going to combine and melt all with the remaining heat that's on the stove top. We are not cooking this thing. We are not cooking that shrimp right there. We are just melting the cheese and combine all the flavors on those shrimp. And I did leave some of the shrimp for later on, as you'll see, but however the amount of shrimp that you use in the beginning, separate it in two, and then you'll have the other half for later on. That makes sense? Yes, boo. Chop it in a two and leave it for later on. But that is how you want your liquid or your mixture or your base or whatever you want to call it. That's all you want it to be looking, right? Okay, now that my potatoes are nicely baked from the oven, we want to go ahead and take those out and let them sit for about 5 to 7 minutes because I'm really hot, right? So after you let it sit for a few, you just go ahead and cut it right into the middle, but not cut the thing wide open, you know. Cut it nice and still kind of have the bottom side attached to the potato, if that makes any sense. Just like how you see me do it, right? That's all right. It's easier to see it when I explain it. Now, when you get done doing that, we are going to remove most of the potato, the soft baked potato that's in the middle. We're going to remove most of it, but still leave some on the inside, because remember, the potato skin is flavored, well baked with the olive oil and the salt on the side, so it's going to give it so much flavor all the way down to the last bite until it looks like a pocket, just like this, right? That's how you know the thing with it. Don't make it fall apart and break open, because it's not going to turn out right. You see how the size of the potato is? That has flavor, a whole heap of flavor. Now, to get the potatoes all mashed, what I'm going to use, and you could use whatever you like, right? I'm going to use about a tablespoon of mayo, or 2 if you want it more creamier. And I had cream cheese, a tablespoon of that as well, and you can add more. I had it some mozzarella and I had it some sharp cheddar. Now you could add any kind of cheese where you want. Your kitchen, do it. I'm also going to give it a little bit of flavoring with my all-purpose seasoning and just a little touch of the dried parsley. You could use fresh parsley too. Heavy whipping cream, and I did had about a half cup of that heavy whipping cream. Based on how much you're going to make, you might need some more, you might need less, because maybe you don't like your one all creamed up like mine. You want a little bit more dense, meaning a little bit more firm. You could just add less. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and pack that nice creamy potato filled with all that cheese inside of the packet, just like that, right? Just like that. Now you could also bake more potato if you like, so you can have more of the potato filling to go inside of that thing, but I was just fine with this right here. Perfectly fine. And I love mine when it's well done, for sure. I give it like an extra like 5 minutes just to have it, the cheese kind of just melt all the way down over that potato skin. And I always bake mine inside of a baking container, that way everything just fall together. Added some more of that mozzarella cheese on there, and I added some more of that sharp cheddar cheese on that thing. Honey, my baker in the house. Then I go ahead and add all that tiger shrimp that was simmered in that sauce. Just go ahead and just lay it up in there, no matter how it fall, and this how it land. But remember, you still have that half of that shrimp that was not simmered, because I want to have 2 different types of texture of cheese on it. You see, one is simmered and one has like a fried look. That fried look, remember, good, it was fried in the butter and garlic sauce, and that thing tastes so good. Went back in and splashed some more of that also flavored sauce on it. I'll sprinkle some of that good up more cheddar cheese and mozzarella all over that thing. Honey, I was ready to shot the sheriff after I sprinkled some parsley on this thing. Everybody did that wait pan this as always, right? Always a wait pan your girl. Ting-a-ling-ling, but I was popping this in my oven. They had to wait, and it took about 20 minutes tops until the desired color. Now, if you're still here watching me cooking, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. There's always good things going on. If you're not subscribed, make sure you turn on the notification when you decide to do that, all right? I always have some nice videos, and if you don't see what you want, ask your girl, and it is always what? Delivered. Now, while you're still here watching me cooking, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel Life as Juliana. The link to the channel will be down below. Dollar Tree DIY and all kind of thing I always do over there. And guess what? All my vegan goodies, go over there and subscribe, because no more vegan recipe on the right. So your girl done separate the two, just like you requested. Me listen to everything I say. Now, go check out my story time goodie. It turn up loud. I love you guys so much, and thank you for all the love and what support. Look on that boo. My baker, put your hands in the hair and give me all your money, because you gonna have to pay me for this. All them shrimp, 2 textured shrimp on this stuffed thing right here was in potato heaven. Juicy potato heaven. When you lift up the thing nice and slow from out of that container. Boo, watch out. Look on the my baker juices. Listen, the thing was not playing. Them people was waiting in the background, let me tell you. Now, you remember that sweet potato we were talking about earlier? That thing was oh so good. It was so cheesy on the inside. All the flavor from that smothered gravy. Oh, it was so good. Look at that. Let me tell you, it gone in no time. The thing was gone. They was waiting for this thing to be done. But you see that thing right there? That is no ordinary cheese dip. Oh, the thing was so good. Yes, it was, y'all. Now, I hope you have enjoyed the recipe. Make sure to say, give your girl a big fat thumbs up and share the recipe with friends and family. Now, you don't see what you want, let me know. Tell me where you want to see me cooking in my kitchen next. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy!